Yo, what's up everybody? My name is Flocka, and today I'm going to show you how to build the cable car. And not only that, I'm going to show you how to defeat the build limit, making it over 1,000 meters long. You can use this to travel, you can use this to transport materials. Either way, it's going to become one of your favorite modes of transportation. So drop a like on the video and let's get right in. So to build the cable car, it's going to take a few easy steps and just some things that you might want to know beforehand. So to start off, we're going to just be using some sort of pillar. And I like to just use the granite foundation. So if you don't have knowledge turned off, you're going to need to stack up a few of the 4x4s. But if you do have it turned off, you can just grab the 4x4 by 12 and start off by building your pillar up. Now you can build the station first if you'd like, but what I highly recommend is building the railing, building the car, and then moving the car away from the starting spot and then building the station around it once you have the car in. You can build your rail first, or you can build a little bit of rail and throw the car on. It really doesn't matter. For this demonstration, I'm going to quickly show you how to build the railing as well as how to extend it once you get to a structure that is too large and you want to make it over 1,000 meters long. I'm going to show you how exactly to do that as well as some other tips and tricks. So to extend this out, you can either use the small 4x4x2 granite foundations, or highly recommended the 4x16x2 granite foundations. It all depends on like the angle at which you're moving your car, how long you're making your track. I'm going to use these because we're going to be going over to that other mountain. So to place one piece down, all I really need to do is snap to the end. And if I want to keep snapping at this elevation, that's fine. I can just do that. But if I want to raise it up and I want to make a rise over a long distance, all I need to do is point my reticle at the side of this track here. You might want to bring a glider just in case you fall down, maybe some grapplers to get yourself back up if you're doing this in survival. But yeah, point your cursor at the side of the previous foundation that you place, maybe nudge it up a stud or two. I believe this would count as technically one stud, so we'll call this a notch, 2 notches, and then we're going to place it down like that. Moving forward, we're going to continue to do that same pattern. And over time, this will rise. Now, you can probably do up to 3, maybe 4 notches, but that's just going to cause your ride to be a little bit more rocky. So I highly recommend keeping it to 2, maximum of 3 notches of increase. And if you're doing the 4x4x2s, maybe limiting how fast you're going up. Otherwise, you will go over where you're trying to go. If you do need to make a steep climb, like let's say you miscalculate and you don't want to go back and destroy the whole railing, you can make steep climbs simply just by doing the 4x4x2s, stacking them like this, going 2 to 3 studs of difference in between each piece. And this is going to help the cart climb a lot faster over a shorter distance. Just for demonstration, I'm going to actually place several of these down. Now I'm just going to extend the track a little bit. Now obviously my track isn't that long, but at about 1,000 meters of length, it's going to tell you that the structure is too large and it's only going to let you build on a certain side of the track. You're not going to be able to extend it any further. To get around that, all you're gonna need to do, like let's say you're in survival and you're on top of the track like this, you're just gonna need to build some stairs down like this as far as you can. Maybe even take the ones with the flat surface, that way you can curl them around like this. And when you're underneath, you're gonna take any pillar, to be honest. If you don't have knowledge turned off, you're gonna want to just take a pillar or something and stack it all the way from the bottom down to the ground. You shouldn't have to build down too far. You should be able to snap it to the end of the pillar for quite a ways down without having to continue to build. This should allow you to get pretty close to the ground and continue doing the building. You might have to build some stairs up. So yes, this will be quite a tedious task. But if you want to extend your cable car track over 1,000 meters, this is what you're going to want to do. Once you get down to the ground, you're going to snap another pillar and you're going to nudge it over 1 stud just like this. And what you're going to do is basically just build this all the way back up. So maybe use the stairs that you already have in order to build this pillar all the way up to the top. Obviously, you want to build it right, not like I'm doing right now and missing completely. But yeah, you're going to nudge it all the way to the top and make sure that you get all the way up to where the railing is, and that there is one maximum of 2 studs of space between here, so that you can continue the rail and be able to go across smoothly with the car. Now obviously I'm in sandbox, so you're gonna have to get creative with your staircases, but luckily this has a pretty good build range, so you should be able to start snapping from pretty high up. Placing that last one, we're gonna throw down just a 4x4x2 quick, and then we're just gonna continue the railing just like this, snapping our rail to the other end. Now, in order to be able to get rid of these pillars so that the car can slide across here, you're gonna need to extend this all the way either to the end point, or if you're going over another 1,000 meters and you're gonna extend this again, you're gonna need a section that it can glide over. So you can build your stairs on the side like this. You're gonna wanna go underneath, so I suggest using the ones with the flat surface that you can walk on and use those to turn easily. You're gonna want to go into your fence pieces. Now you can use this Anarchy Acres fence 1. It looks like it's free to play, so everybody should have it, but you should be able to use basically any fence piece that is a 1x2 or a 1 by whatever. But what you're gonna want to do is place one down, and if you use the regular fence, you're going to want to make sure that it is about that length down. So in terms of height, so let's say I use like acres railing or something. Going to want to make sure that it's at least 2 down like this. And then underneath that, we're going to take this granite foundation. We're going to slide it over, and from underneath that foundation, or even if you snap any pillar to it, we're going to build that pillar all the way down to the ground, just like we did with this one. If you have this built, you can go ahead and get rid of any pillars like this, especially the one that is connected to the ground already. Go ahead and get rid of this. But these are both ways to extend your track a little bit further. So the first way being, if you're not going to have more than 2 chunks of track that are too large to continue building on. So just building a pillar all the way down, moving over a stud, building a pillar up, and then continuing the track like that. And then building that all the way to your station, getting it in the ground, and then removing both of the pillars over here. Or if you're going to have one section of track 1,000 meters, a second section of track that's 1,000 meters, and then a third section of track that connects to the second station, you're going to want to build one of these, because the mechanism with all the wheels is going to be able to glide right past this fence post, but it'll also be connected to the ground. I hope I did a good job of explaining that. Probably not, I apologize. But if you're building your cable car less than 1,000 meters, none of that information applies to you. Now, I'm going to extend the track out as far as I'd like, and then we're going to go build the cable car. To build the car, we're going to start with the mechanism itself. We're going to take literally any half wall, but what we want to do is make sure that it's sticking up a little bit, even almost get it as close to the top as you can, and honestly, give it like several studs of room between you and the back of the pillar here. So honestly, I would leave yourself, like when you're making your track, give yourself a nice straight spot here before you start inclining or doing anything. And just start off like building this in the middle of that. So we'll go like this. Now we want to go into supports. You can either take the Shogun pallet support, or you should have the Tudor beam, but you can do either the 2x16 or the 2x12. I recommend the 2x16. It's going to make it a little bit easier. But what you want to do is put this on that post, but one stud outward. On top of it, take an 8x2, any floor piece, but we only want that to be one stud on top of that support. so it hangs over the edge and hangs over the track evenly. And underneath the other side, basically just take the support and put it over here the same way that it is on the other side. There we go. Now you're going to want to take any half wall. Honestly, I recommend using the umber half wall, but go underneath, and at the middle of each support, we're going to go like so. The middle 2 studs, we're going to go out 2, and then an extra one on each side. And we're going to do this on all 4 sides like this. And then on each corner, we want to throw down a medium tire, just like this. So if you're looking at it from the front, like where the track actually is going, looking back, everything on the left side needs to be changed in order for the tires to be pulling you this way when you're pushing forward. Now we're going to grab large power tires, and on both sides of this floor piece, as close as we can get it, we're going to place down 2 of those like this. Make sure that the tires are turning the correct direction. They are. If you place them on this beam right here, you're going to need to change them so that they're rotating this way, and that they move you that way when you decide to go forward. Now, all of the tires are pretty much placed, except for the ones that we're gonna have to place afterwards once we drop this thing. We can actually go ahead and build the car itself, which is going to be pretty easy. So what we're going to do is go underneath here, and on the opposite side that it's not connected on, now we're gonna take the umber wall, the 2x2x12, and in the middle of the opposite side where it's not connected, we're going to place 1 down like that. We're going to take an umber half wall, and then we want to take another wall corner, but we want to make sure it's a different color. So grab anything that you might have, place it like that, because we're going to end up destroying that one. What we want to do is we want to hang a wall off the side of this pillar here. We are looking for the open door, the log cabin piece, 2x16x12. Basically what we're doing is making sure that the hooks are pointed in, making sure that it's even, and anywhere in this area is okay, because it's going to be connected to the umber pillar instead of the white pillar, so that when we destroy this white pillar, it's still connected. So feel free to do whichever you want. As long as you're not doing way up here, you're totally fine. So we're going to go right here. Bam, I'll get rid of this pillar. It'll stay connected, and then on both sides, I'm going to take the umber wall. I'm going to place 3 of them. Feel free to also try to make your car bigger if you'd like. On each side, you're going to want to take that open door again. Try to point your cursor towards the bottom so that it's nice and lined up. And we're actually going to hang it over each side by 1 stud, just like this. Do the same thing to the other side. And we're going to repeat the same wall on this side. So making sure that this pillar is in a stud, we're going to place 1, 2, and 3. Do the same thing to the other side. Move it in a stud. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to place the open door just like that. And now you can use any floor that you would like to fill this in. I like to use the pirate plank wide 16x16, but feel free to use any floor that you might have. So I'm going to move that floor in like this, so it's nice and flush on the bottom, nice and straight and even. And there we go. We've got the car so far. For the rooftop, honestly, if you have it hanging down far enough, which is why we added an extra umber wall, you're going to be able to do this next part. So now obviously this post is the only thing that is connecting us to this car here, so we kind of want to protect it with an extra layer of something around it so that we're not swinging at it. So we just place this floor down here just in case we swing at it from below, which we shouldn't be anyways. But for the roof, you can honestly do whatever you would like. Usually I go in and I grab a Durburger roof, but feel free to use any roof. Any roof will work, and then you just fill in the pieces. There might be an opening in the middle, but that's perfect because you can use that for your power cell, or you can place your power cell down on the ground. There's a few different options, but I'm going to show you one option that you can use, and that is using these Nana roof caps from the Lost Isles Lego Pass. And I'm just going to line those up like that. I'm going to place another one there. I'm going to try to make it even on this side. So 1, 2, 3. I like to have a nice flat top. I've come to realize I do like putting the roof pieces on, but for me, this is just a little bit better. Now, for the inside, what I like to do here is we can just fill it in with one of these. But what we can't do is put one down there. But that floor we placed underneath the post, we can get that extended a little bit here. So what we'll do is we'll just take any 6x2 floor piece. I'm going to place one in the middle, and then I'm going to nudge it over one like this. And on top of that is where we are going to place our power center. Now, you should be able to fit a large power center here. Maybe, no, it doesn't look like it. Maybe we can fit a couple mediums. Looks like just one, but we'll throw down the power center right there. You should be able to access that from inside. We'll go in and check real quick. Yes. So you got to do a little bit of a jump. You could even honestly take out this middle floor and then be able to get in super easily. I believe if you want the large power cell in, all you would have to do is just move some stuff over, it looks like. And yes, it'll fit. So if you want the large power cell, because the cable car can eat power cells a little bit, all you have to do is remove that one middle roof piece that we had there, and you should be good to go. So we're gonna replace that like that, and then I'm just gonna fill this in like that. Just a couple 8x2s, stack them up, make it look all nice. I think I'll do that on this side as well. And there we have it. Now we've got a few more things to do, like add some thrusters. So what we're gonna do is grab a vehicle base underneath. I like to move in about 6, 7 studs. Doesn't really matter. I just don't like the thrusters being seen off the edge. But what we're gonna do is place them in the middle. We're gonna go into controls, grab the small thrusters, and we're gonna place 2 on each side. This is gonna give you some crazy speed on the rail. Now you want to make sure that when you're adjusting your channels that you leave all the thrusters that are going to push it forward as channel 3, but anything that's pointing backwards can get changed to channel 4 or whatever channel you want to activate to go in reverse. There we go. We'll also be placing some thrusters up here as well. So one there, basically on all of these spots right there on the corners. And then up top as well, we want to place down the thrusters. So if you really want, you can get rid of these tires here, but you could also just get rid of the large tires. Save yourself a little bit of trouble. We're going to place the floors down. Whatever floors you'd like, it doesn't really matter. And then up top, we're going to get thrusters on all 4 of these spots right here. And like I said before, any thruster that is pointing in reverse needs to be changed to either channel 4 or whatever channel you're using to go in reverse. So now all of these are 4 and all of these are 3. I can go ahead and throw those tires back on now that I've got the floor pieces. I'm going to make sure that they're as close to the middle as I can get. Remember that. And since I placed them on that side, I have to, of course, change the direction that the tires are spinning. Don't forget to add your power cells in before you try to go. You're going to need to add in your driver's seat. Now, I don't like to do anything fancy, but feel free to do whatever you want. Honestly, decorate the inside however you want, whether you're using it for storage or what. I really don't care. But I'm going to show you just a basic decoration, throwing the basic small driver's seat in the front here. We're going to go into storage and grab simple trunks. This is where I'm going to be storing my extra power cell. So I'm going to nudge it out the back like this. Throw down a floor like that. But we are actually going to be placing benches anyways here. So feel free to throw down any amount of seats you want. I like to take my Durburger booth, put one there, put one there. It still leaves the door nice and open. You can put a booth right here, but it's going to crowd the driver's seat a little bit, so you don't have to. Usually I'll just throw the vehicle seat down in this spot. And honestly, if you want to add storage, you can. Make it as heavy as you'd like. If you need to add some balloons to it, go ahead. You know, maybe use a sideways build technique to get them underneath. Anything to give it a little lift. But you shouldn't need anything. Now, all you have to do is drop it down, add a couple more tires to really lock it on the track, and we are ready to go. So, when you're ready to drop it down, you're going to hit this middle pillar right across from the one that is connecting to the cart. This middle pillar is going to get hit. It should fall on just like that. Now we want to take small, simple tires, and on all 4 of these, we're going to throw down a simple tire. So you see how it's a little uneven? You don't have to make sure that it's as high up as possible. Just make sure that the wheels are underneath. So what we're going to do is pull down the first side that we built up, and we're going to place it right where the other one is sitting. And now you have the cable car. It's done. This is it, guys. This is everything that you've seen on the survival series, made as simple as possible. Massive shout out to Back and Echo. I'll have that roller coaster video linked down in the description. But without further ado, it is time to go for a ride. So all you got to do is hop on in, and it should work just like that. Go up to elevation, we add a little power. Now here's one of those little crossings. You see how it goes right in between the posts, and even if it does hit the tire a little, it doesn't cause any problems. We're not worried about smoking the post at all. We can honestly turn on the jets full speed and fly right through. So you do get some good speed. If you've seen me using this on the survival series, I've traveled thousands, tens of thousands of meters with the cable car. It's one of my favorite things to use inside of my world, and I hope it becomes one of yours. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. If you haven't smacked that like button already, make sure you do it right now. Otherwise, the Storm King's gonna break loose and destroy everything you hold dear. Take it easy, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.